mats running simultaneously. Plenty of choice here. And just a word to our viewers at home to pull up the FloGrappling website and click on the Arena tab at the top of the screen, because what you got there is you have the ability to switch between multiple mats. The Arena, you have the ability to pull up the live brackets that have the upcoming matches, and you can see exactly not only who's competing and where they are in the division, but also who's competing next as well. This on screen right now, this is John Satava, 2018 North American East Coast Trials winner, a veteran of the 2019 ADCC World Championships. He's on top, putting on the pressure.
Yeah,
competing right now against Bobby Winter and Barrett Yoshida.
We talked about this head arm half guard pass. If you want to see the guy that's probably the best competing right now at it, it could be John Satava.
He puts a lot of pressure on.
Yeah, he has a very nice. He uses his right leg very well when he's in there. He uses it as a post or a push rather than a hook, and he puts that right foot on the knee, and that's how he initially gets that knee, his left knee in this case, free. And then he'll just sit there. He's got lots of pressure. He's working himself past. I think he waited until the points, and now it's points. So
he's got that knee through. He should be getting the points for this. Yeah. I would imagine he's got that chest-to-chest control, and he's back into the half guard now. But I would imagine that time that he managed to free his leg from the guard could earn him the points. But it does depend, because not only getting past the half guard, but the ADCC, the referees and the judges, they will require you to put the guy on his back. You need to have 75% of their back on the mat, which basically equates to 2 hips and a shoulder, or 2 shoulders and 1 hip. And it's absolutely key to scoring those points.
That's right. Now I think he's made it through. He's got a control there. So he could take his right foot and just staple that forearm as well, and that'll help free that grip. And then now he's got that arm isolated for Kimuras, etc. on the far side. But Widmer does a good job of moving to the turtle, but now he's got to get out of this scenario, not just get to the turtle. He's got to get back to the guard. And Satava now working his way to the back. I secured those hooks.
Oh, body triangle now as well, of course. That is a scoring position in ADCC. It's a very, very good scoring position. And another little mention for the rules here is that you can open the body triangle and you can switch sides and close the body triangle on the other side, and you can actually get more points for doing so.
Yeah, it's correct. And it's actually, as silly as that sounds, I don't see a lot of people, I don't see enough people that you would think taking advantage of this.
Right. Still not seeing the points come on the board for those maneuvers, though, scored by Satava. Just over 30 seconds left. Winter gets back up to his feet. Drives forward, but looks like we got a little stoppage here.
I wonder if there's a little blood or a cut or something. They sort of clashed heads, or it's pretty scrappy right there, that little movement to the top. Here they go. Back again.
Winter in with a double, single.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. He's in on the leg. He's got his shoulder in there.
Run the pipe.
Yeah.
Isn't able to finish. Goes to his back, but man, he is chasing after Satava here.
He definitely has the wheels going right now, putting a lot of pressure.
And another shot.
Yep.
Oh, huge pickup.
But time is ended. Wow. Yeah.
That is the end of time, and it looks like Satava will actually win on -1. I'm not sure if the scoring is 100% correct on that one. I'll need to go back and double check with the officials, but I do believe that Satava could have scored for a number of those positions earlier there. But well, let's see. I think I'd like to take a little look. I believe now at maybe Mat 4, Sean, because Mat 4 we have coming up next any second now. We should have Alan Sanchez in action, and one of the rising stars from the 10th Planet Network. He's actually representing 10th Planet San Mateo.
Underway with mat number 4.
Alan Sanchez on the left in the all black. On the right is Anthony Robinson representing Corvo Martial Arts. This is another elimination match in the 77-kilogram division, a round of 128,
yeah,
Sean.
I know. I was looking before. They said round of 256. I'm like, oh, my Lord.
Yeah, that would be the first of, I believe, 8 matches if you were to fight your way through to the final. That's a lot of action in one weekend.
Yes, and that was a nice exchange right there by Alan Sanchez. He just sort of put a leg hook in, put an underhook in, snuck himself right over there to where he's almost knee cut through.
You have to think that coming from the 10th Planet Network that I don't believe that you see the classical game in action so much anymore, but if you've spent any time in the 10th Planet school, then you will be pretty adept in dealing with the half guard from bottom with that underhook and the lockdown,
yeah.
right? It's something that it was a bread and butter part of the system for so long. But it is interesting to see that the way that the 10th Planet system has expanded so much over recent years as the network has grown and as these new athletes have come in and added so much more to the original kind of core system that Eddie Bravo himself favored back in the day. That it's grown so much, and it's really hard to say what is the 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu style nowadays, right?
Yeah, I think they do a good job of keeping current with everything that's going on. Just like this, that was a very nice pass where they took the near side underhook, walked the opposite direction of what you might think you need to walk to flatten those knees, and then just kick right out. Here again, he could do it right again as the left underhook could go inside. He should be putting his left underhook. That'll keep him out of any trouble on the legs. Robinson could try to elevate with that scoop, but goes into a leg drag and cross heel hook entry.
Sanchez seems to have got the better here.
Yeah, he sort of forgot about his own left leg, although it's nearly out. But again, he's got his hook wrapped up in there, and it's a pesky situation. Both guys are in a little bit of danger. Sanchez has his leg locked in there, and yeah, Sanchez left his leg in there, and it's locked, and so he's in a little bit of trouble here.
This is not a 50-50, but it's a shootout, and it kind of resembles the 50-50 in many ways, in that either man could come out of this like that as the winner, right?
It's true. Right now, I don't know how adept Robinson's leg locks are. He made a big mistake right there on going to the outside position when he had it crossed with the legs completely isolated. Yeah, that was a big mistake for him. That essentially let Sanchez out of that whole thing. But that one, either one of those guys could have fell right there. Advantage was Robinson, but and he made a little mistake there, and Sanchez escaped.
Okay, restart in the center of the mat, and we see now that Sanchez on top, passing position. Looks like going for the guillotine grip from top here, dropping off to the side. You have an arming guillotine here.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see if he can maintain that. Robinson got a hold of the hip. He got that forearm in the hip and flipped Sanchez right over. That's really nice defense.
That could be points for Robinson. That could be reversal points there. Nice guard work here from Sanchez, though, using those long legs. Manages to get back into a comfortable position from which to attack, but I'm surprised we didn't see reversal points there, actually, for Robinson, because, you know, Sanchez came over the top with the guillotine, but I guess maybe because it was in the middle of a submission attack.
That's right.
That he doesn't give up the points by going to the bottom.
That's correct, Howard. He initiated that submission, and then he won't give up those points. That's correct.
Oh, nice use of that arm over the head again. For me, this is one of the killers that when somebody wants to come in for that body lock pass, if you can get a decent bite in a guillotine, it'll make somebody think twice about going forward. Nice roll through there. What do you think? Has he got this, Sean?
This one's locked up pretty tight. He's got his legs locked. Let's see if he can finish. Nope, there. Robinson got access to that hip again and was able to move him up and out.
Nice hand fighting there and being able to strip that grip out from underneath his chin. You could see the look on his face. That was tight.
It was very tight, yeah.
2 points for Sanchez, though, because he actually used the submission from bottom to put Robinson on his back. And I think that was not only smart strategy, but that was a decent submission attack as well.
Yep. That was in on the leg on the scoop there.
Just over a minute to go.
Sound defense for Sanchez to circle out of that potential leg attack. Wow, Robinson blasts in.
Huge double leg there.
Yeah, but he couldn't keep his back on the mat. So he's going to need to score from the back here.
Going off the edge of the bounce here, the referee will not stop them until they're in a solid position in which he can initiate a restart. Or if a submission attack is live, they'll just let him go.
Yeah. Robinson got way high there again.
All right, Sanchez pops his arm out, pops his head out here. Is there armbar active? Doesn't look like it is.
No, it looks like he's got
it. Looks loose.
Yeah, an elbow bent. Now the legs are both under the armpit, which is not where you want both legs. That top leg or that far leg of Robinson, you don't want that under the armpit. It's going to get the power of your arm lock gets degraded pretty quickly. But it looks like that takedown or whatever it was, that reversal is going to put that sweep was going to put 2 on the board.
It looks like so Sanchez got the 2 for that guillotine attack to top position earlier, and it looks like Robinson's blast double scored him 2 back. So we're going to go into our. This is actually the first overtime round I've seen so far this morning.
Yeah, it is.
This is a unique element again of ADCC, in that if you hit the regulation time period and it's a draw, you will go through to a potential 3-minute overtime. If it's still a draw at the end of that, potentially a second overtime round. But after that, the judge's decision. This is key now, because if either man pulls guard, they'll get hit with a negative point, and then immediately they'll be on the losing end. It's not sudden death. It will go through the distance, but you will see them fight for takedowns here. They can't afford to just pull to bottom position.
Yeah, so we're inclined to see a little more action on the feet, or at least some more play on the feet.
Not risking too much at this stage with just over 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Hand fighting in the center of the mat. No real level changes or anything to speak of yet.
Trying to slide by Sanchez. Now there is a way to get to the guard from here, but you have to actively try. You can drop to a knee, take a shot, and actively try to put someone down.
It's one of the few loopholes in the ADCC rules, and not all competitors are aware of it, but it does exist. There's a shot, though. You see Robinson dropping in on the leg. Nice counter there from Sanchez. They go out of bounds. I don't believe either man will score for that.
No.
But that's interesting. I think you see that Sanchez, he was definitely waiting for Robinson's blast double and had an answer for it, but...
Yeah, big Uchimata counter, but got rolled through and then just put back to neutral.
30 seconds remaining.
Heavy on the head. Somebody's got to take a shot here. Whoop.
Oh, there's on the leg of Sanchez. Goes for the single, head on the inside. Going to be hard to finish it with only a few seconds left on the clock, because not only do you need to put them down, Sean, but you need to hold them down.
Hold them.
For the 3 seconds to actually score the points, and that's no easy task.
No,
so,
it's not.
All right, so it's one overtime period for the elimination matches. It's only 2 overtime periods for the later for the championship round. So let's see what the judges have to say here. Sanchez takes the win via decision, and we'll move on in the 77 kilo division. So I think we'll move on to mat number 3 now, because we've got a high-profile competitor coming up next on mat number 3. Sean, we've got Cody Steele.
Yeah.
Of the Checkmat team, Brazilian Fight Factory. He's going up against Ruben Coronado of South Boston, BJJ. Cody Steele is, one might say that he's got again, much like we were talking earlier about PJ Barge, has got a very good game for ADCC, and that is that combination, isn't it? It's what we like to call the wrestle jitsu.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, well-versed, has great takedowns, hard to take down, so can kind of put the match where it needs to be when it matters, if it gets to that point.
That's Steele walking around bare chest. Any opportunity to compete with no rash guard, and he's all about it. And as you see, he's also got the bleach blonde hair, which, funny enough, all of his teammates elected to do. They all decided to dye their hair blonde for the weekend. So, but Steele, formidable wrestling and well-versed in the submission game. And been training, of course, with William Tackett, Andrew Tackett, and Caleb Tackett, the 3 Tackett brothers, 2 of which are in action this weekend also. William Tackett will also compete in the 77 kilo division, and Caleb Tackett will be in the 66. Andrew Tackett decided to not to compete this weekend, save himself for something else is going on, but Steele pushing forward here, because this is the key, isn't it? The Coronado, that he can pull the guard in this initial period, and this is about the best thing you can hope, is to try and get a submission game going early rather than have to go head-to-head and wrestle somebody like Cody Steele.
That's right. And Coronado's doing a great job of tying up, trying to get an angle, looking to get underneath. He's doing a pretty good job with his hooks. William Tackett, I believe, is on deck on this, is right directly the next match on this mat, so. Coronado trying to get underneath his full butterfly guard now. Cody Steele jumps over to the other side.
Nice use of the guard from Coronado in kind of controlling the distance a little bit. You know, the way that Steele was looking to close and to try and maintain try and get that upper body contact, and as we see here, diving forward, try and get like a clinch position from the top. But Coronado's using his hooks well and using his arms inside position to put Steele back at longer range. Back into center of the mat. Just over a minute and a half into this 6-minute regulation period. Of course, if a draw at the end of those 6 minutes, we'll go through to a 3-minute overtime period.
That was a nice move right there by Cody Steele to make that grapevine. There's a little bit of a mistake there for Coronado to try to lift him up with an over-under in that manner, and Cody did a well-timed grapevine on his underhook side and really just stepped right over.
Nice. I think that was a nice initiated mount escape from Coronado.
Beautiful.
You could definitely feel that Steele felt that he was losing the position and decided to bail out of it. But nice use of the of that little kipping mount escape there from bottom from Coronado in getting back to safety. No points, of course, for that guard pass there from Steele, but just goes to show that that's how quickly he can get things going.
Yeah.
Again, looking to close the distance.
Into the 3/4 here for Coronado. That right knee opens, nice. Going to try to invert. That was a nice little attempt there by risky but nice for Cody Steele to shove his leg through there and try to come up past the guard.
Trying to use that chin strap to roll through into the top position, but nice recovery from Coronado. And I believe this is Steele's first match of the day, and it's he's a high-paced athlete, right? He loves to go out there hard and fast and really put his foot on the gas. And I feel that this is more of a measured performance from him so far. I feel like this is he's definitely feeling things out because we're used to seeing him backflipping across the mat and all sorts, right?
Well, I'll tell you what, Coronado is a technical individual here, and I think that's why you're seeing Cody Steele be a little bit more cautious in nature. I mean, this guy, you give this guy an inch and he's going to take a mile. You can tell. He's doing all the right stuff. He's keeping his feet in good position. His hand fighting is good. So you really can't get too reckless on a technical guy like Coronado, or else you find yourself where you don't really want to be. Like, nice foot on the biceps. Got a 2-on-1 on that cross arm. He's trying to invert a little bit, but he's doing all the right things. He's controlling that wrist as Steele comes around. There's an underhook from Steele. It's nice work there. Getting past, good forearm frames. Can shoot a little triangle there. Nice attempt there by Cody Steele to even threaten that cross heel hook, which then made Coronado extend the leg. Now Cody could walk towards us, to walk to his right. This is where people can get a little off. They walked there. He did a great job walking to his right, stepping right over. Sometimes it feels like you want to step backwards at that point because you want to get behind them, but it actually makes things worse. Now we should see Cody achieve mount points here. Again, nice elbow escape there from Coronado.
Oh, beautiful pass there from Steele, though. And he's got that stapled. He's got his opponent absolutely pinned here. Beautiful use. Interesting that he doesn't have the underhook on the far side, but the crossface is so strong, it's as good as.
Yeah. His hands were just locked and anchored under the center of the back, which was basically keeping that underhook at bay.
And time will run out. 6-0 win for Cody Steele here in his first match of the 77 kilo division. Tons of action here to still to come. Of course, we're still just working through the 77 kilo division. Let's not forget that the loaded 66 and 88 brackets will be coming up next. And then a little later this afternoon, we'll do the men's under 99 and over 99. And then the women's lightweight and heavyweight brackets as well. So we have to work through the biggest divisions first, right? Try to get these out the way with. And
I had said Tackett was next. I guess he's after this next
after
one.
this one. Well, let's stay here on mat 3, shall we? Because we've got a pretty solid match here, I believe. Steve Austin. Not the Steve Austin.
Steve Austin.
A Steve Austin. Steve Austin going up against Dylan Royce. I wonder how many people have called him Dylan Hoyce in his life. Called him at jiu-jitsu tournaments. Dylan Hoyce. All right, this is an elimination match. Steve Austin versus Dylan Royce. Austin with the red ankle band on. They've actually got ankle bands now. This is better. This is helpful.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I'll date myself, Howell. When you said Steve Austin, the first thing that popped in my mind was the $6 million man.
Not the
wrestler.
Or not one of the pioneers of the Texas, the forming of Texas as a republic. No. Is that one too? Many of them, many famous Steve Austins. A little bit of aggressive hand fighting here, and it's interesting to note that ADCC, even though the rules will allow you to pull guard in the initial period, that a lot of competitors come to ADCC with no intention of pulling guard. Yeah. They want to wrestle because they feel that it's one of the few jiu-jitsu tournaments that they can do that they can show off their wrestling and be rewarded for it.
Yeah. An outside 2-on-1. Royce. Moved into just a wrist tie there. Trying to pull that arm across.
Aaron Johnson, mat 2, please. Aaron Johnson, mat 2. Aaron Johnson, mat 2, or he will be disqualified.
With a snap down here. Headlock scenario. See if he elects to go for guillotines or go behind. Now, looks like he wants to slide the right leg in, potentially. Got a front headlock still. His head is over on that arm side, which tells me he's going to keep looking for that front headlock. And might roll. Yeah, nice. So switch to a front guillotine now.
Looks like a 10-finger.
Yeah.
Oh, but uses it to run around to the back instead. Powering through this half guard right now. Looks to have the body lock. Can only see one side so far, but looks like he does have the body lock around, pretty low around the torso, actually, almost just over the hips, right?
Yeah, if his hands are connected, he should leg pummel right now with that leg's open. He's going to use the hook, although it's not necessary, but there he goes.
Nice little windshield wiper of the right foot.
Yeah. Just
bringing it up and over and settling down now into this very strong side control position. And controlling the hips from here, it's, man, it really kills the bottom guy's ability to move, right?
Yeah, when you have that arm stuck under the body like that, yeah, they can't move out to the side hardly at all. Great position. See if he slides that right knee through the mount. working towards the mount now.
Doesn't quite have it, though. Nope. Got the knee to the mat, but that foot needs to be flat on the floor, and there it goes. Should get the mount points for that also. Nice work there. And Dylan Royce, yes, in settling down into this top position. Look at that.
Yeah.
And you can see the pressure. You can see the look on Steve Austin's face from bottom. Royce is just giving him absolutely no space. Right?
No, he's done a very good job of controlling Austin this entire contest. He'll just have to walk these arms up a little, and he could start to think about Katagatamis off the bridge. There it is. And then now if that fails, he looks like he's got that gift wrap followed up to take the back. Katagatami into gift wrap, back into Katagatami or the back. Looks like he wants to stay on the Katagatami.
Oh, I think he's got that locked in. This looks pretty tight. Referee's taking a close look at. There it is. Gets the finish. Gets the tap with 46 seconds left on the clock. Submission win there. That was a powerful performance.
Absolutely. Control all the way through.
Here's just a little overview of all the action that's taking place. Well, not all. This is -1 mat, of course. There are 5 mats running. This is mats 1, 3, 4, and 5. We will stay here on mat 3 for a little while. We're waiting for the next match to come up, which is William Tackett. And he's going to be going up against Hun Soo White, Barrett Ishida submissions. We'll be waiting for that to come up in a minute. But use the multi-mat selector to try and watch multiple matches simultaneously, because there are a lot of them. Like on deck on mat 5 is Pierre Leclerc of TriStar. He's going to be up in action against Andrew Bernack of CTA Madison. We've also got some other big names kind of on deck and coming through any second. We've got Jay-Z Cavalcanti, the renowned mixed martial arts fighter, veteran mixed martial arts fighter turned submission grappler. But this right here, this on the right with the blonde hair is William Tackett. And he's going up against Hyun-Soon White on bottom.
Right into the body lock, right around the legs.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah. Tackett
wasting no time whatsoever.
He could step right over the legs now, move his head right up to the center to get rid. Oh, that actually, he put the head in the center. That's not really where you want the head if you are on the bottom. Tackett's now got his head glued to the front. He could walk to the right a little, leg pummel back behind, or just step right over to the mount. There he goes.
Tackett's first match of the day. Expect to see him use this potentially as a something of a warm-up. Yeah. Oh, look at this, though. White's got hold of now. Oh, wait. Oh, Tackett's answering back.
Yeah, White's got it. He slept the knee out. Did a good job slipping the knee out. Yeah, but look at, I mean, as you said, White went after his own little attack there. It was nice. Forced Tackett to go on his own just to defend it.
What do you think here? You seeing Tackett possibly go for a back step onto the heel hook here?
He could. He's got to watch his own knee. Get into a little shootout here. There it is, 50-50.
There it is. Gets the inside heel hook in a little less than 90 seconds. William Tackett scores his first match here. His first submission in his first match in the 77-kilogram division. Quick win there for, well, one of the top ranked fighters in this weight class. William Tackett's been looking great this year and kicks things off here at ADCC trials with a bang. We'll take a little break and we'll be right back after this.
Let's go, Manny.
All right, Sean, we're back here now with a little bit of an overview of what's happening here today. And just while we're waiting for some more of the bigger names to come, I think what we can do is we'll just leave this multi-mat view up for a second so that give you a sense of the multitude of matches that are all taking place simultaneously here at the ADCC trials. And it's been firing. Let's just recap a little bit of what we've seen so far. So, former Penn State wrestler and a jiu-jitsu blue belt, Gino Morelli is 2-2, is 2-4-2 so far today, 2 submissions, and he's been cranking on some necks. He put his first opponent to sleep with a very, very deep Darce choke, submitted his second with a guillotine. Cade Ruotolo, one match into his campaign here, caught a very slick Darce choke, as you would probably expect, to be honest. I'm still a little bamboozled as to why anybody thinks...
Minute to points, guys. Minute to points. Gotta start moving, guys. Let's see some work.
No audio? Good, back. Sorry about the technical problems there. Just discussing about how the fact that it's been a frantic morning so far, and all 5 mats have been just pumping, and there's plenty more to come. As you can see, just looking at just 4 of the 5 mats simultaneously running as we're here at the Showboat Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Yeah, the brackets are humongous. You can see those now.
Well, look at this. You've got on the top right, you've got mat 3, and on the bottom you've got mat 4. And those are both rounds of 128, the 77 kilogram division. And that's even after 70 plus competitors pulled out of that original weight class as well. So we still have, it's a solid 6-7 matches to win gold. It's how big these divisions are. But it's been interesting so far, I would say, and just talking a little bit about the ADCC kind of vibe in general, it's that we often see, right now we're seeing the big names do what they do, but it's the kind of tournament as well where we'll see a lot of competitors generally do well, that we may not see active in other tournaments, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, people are excited about ADCC. They can come out of the woodwork on this. The points disparity, it's harder to score points. They're not as, it's not as big. Some of the points are not as big. There's other points that, like a takedown to cross side is 4. So that's the biggest score you can get. The 2 4-point movements, a reversal from bottom to side is also 4. So there's some different points that just make it really interesting. And can obviously the rules are sort of what make the game. So you can have some different people on making it through rounds. So yeah, you can't sleep on anybody really.
One of the things I think that I like about the ADCC rules in general is that they've done a much better job of educating the grappling world in general about exactly what they are, because for the longest time, not too many people could claim to really know the ADCC rules well.
Yeah.
And thankfully, this last year or so, the efforts of Mo Jassim and the rest of the ADCC team in educating the community as to exactly what those rules look like, for a number of reasons, because they've been training up more judges and officials and getting people qualified to work at these events, but also then there's no concerns or question marks come the big events. When the ADCC World Championships rolls around, there's no cause for complaint or dispute. I thought this was this and I thought it should have gone this way. No, it is what it is. There's no argument, right?
That's right.
Even the competitors, they used to turn up and compete at ADCC World Championships without really knowing what the rules were.
Right.
And unfortunately, that was a common occurrence.
Yeah, you have to know the rules. Very important.
And what are the biggest differences for you for the ADCC rules to, let's say, IBJJF or other tournaments that use points?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of different things that really stand out to me. Number one is that initiation factor can really dictate points. Even if I'm on the mount and I initiate an arm lock and go to the bottom, no score. Now that's normal as well in IBJJF. If you go to the arm, if you're on the mount on a dominant position, go in an arm lock, you're not going to get points scored on you. However, if someone has bridged you over and you're going down and then you throw up a submission, they're going to get reversal points if they get out of that. So that's different. Reversal points are humongous. That's a big difference.
You even score reversal points from a bottom mount, bottom
That's
side
right.
control,
That's right.
which are considered escapes in other events.
That's right. And so I like that, because you're going from bottom to top. Why not be rewarded for that? And it's not taking anything away from the top person. They can do submissions as they wish and not be penalized for being on the bottom. So you can take those risks and not get scored on. And then so the reversal ones for sure, the initiation for sure.
And then, of course, there's the fact that the first half of the match, there are
That's
no
right.
points.
No points at all.
That's the biggest one. I
No
think
points at
confuses a lot of people, because you'll even see them look to the scoreboard after hitting a takedown or what have you, and being surprised to see it's still stuck at 0. Well, of course, the ADCC rules, you do not score points in the first half of the regulation match, and points are only awarded for completed maneuvers in the second half of the regulation period. And then if it's a draw at the end, it doesn't go to a decision. It goes to an overtime period. Yeah. In the finals, you can potentially have multiple overtime periods. In these elimination matches, it's just one overtime period of 3 minutes. And if there's no score at the end of that, it goes to a decision. But the other thing is, of course, that all submissions are legal here at ADCC trials, and you'll see all manner of submissions, neck cranks, leg locks, but always one that surprised me, that the twister is illegal.
Yeah, it's legal.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But you can slam out of submissions at ADCC. That's another big one. If you are locked in an armbar or a triangle, you can pick up your opponent and slam them on the mat to escape, which is definitely something that we've seen used successfully in the past.
That's right. I think the other big one to note is that we saw earlier that you can't chain point techniques together. They have to come independently. So a guard pass where you might be in half guard and you mount, they're not going to give you the guard pass and the mount. They would only give you the mount. To get to pass points, you need to pass establish cross-side first, get those points, then mount, then get those points. So that's
And the
also a
key
big
that they
one.
always say is 3 seconds.
Yes.
That's what the referees will, or the judges will always tell you in the rules meetings. They will always say, hold a position for 3 seconds to get those points. If you can count 1, 2, 3 after scoring a takedown, putting the guy down, or passing the guard, then you're pretty much guaranteed those points. But you can't just move from position to position and expect to rack up tons of points. And you have to solidify and consolidate that position. But just a little update about where we're at so far. So we're just over an hour into the action so far here at ADCC Trials, and only the 77 kilogram division has gone so far. And the idea is that because it is the largest division with the most number of competitors, that they will try and get through the elimination matches, or a couple rounds of the elimination matches in the 77 kilos before going on to the 88 and 66 divisions. They'll be going through the elimination matches on those. Later this afternoon, we will see the heavier weight categories, the under 99 and over 99, and then the women's lightweight and heavyweight brackets. But the 77 kilogram is what's happening right now, and it's what's going to happen for a little while yet. It's going to take us a while to get through this. And then today, we'll run through the first 3 to 4 elimination matches, depending on the size of the bracket. Tomorrow, the 77, 80, 66, 77, and 88. They will run 16-man brackets for each of those divisions, 8-man divisions for the heavier weight classes for the men, and for the 2 ladies brackets as well. And now, I think we should move over onto mat 2, if possible, Sean, to catch some action, because we've got a pretty well-known competitor coming up on deck. This is actually, it looks like the 88 division is underway now. We do have the 88 division taking place across multiple mats, and we're going to move across onto mat 2 just a second. Thanks if you're joining us on the YouTube live chat. We've been putting this flow zone up for free on YouTube for the first hour or so to give you guys a chance to follow along a little the action. To follow the brackets in real time, go to arena.flograppling.com, or just go to the FloGrappling website and click on the Arena tab at the top. But right here, 88 kilogram elimination match. David Garmo on top, going up against Van Gelder on the bottom.
Garmo's already on the neck there.
That did not take long.
No, it did not.
Did the hand tap? I thought I saw a tap there briefly.
Almost looked like it did.
Oh, switches to the DOS.
Yeah, he's got that locked up. There it is.
Very nice there from David Garmo. Manages to sink it in, and man, you can see wobbly on his feet is Van Gelder. That choke was deep. It's that rush of blood to the head immediately after the choke lets go. He was
nearly
a little
sleeping.
shaky there. That was, wow, that was a tight one. We're actually going to stay on mat 2 because we have a former trials winner coming up next, Sean. We actually have John Salter, the well-known grappler stroke MMA fighter. One time he was a very highly ranked competitor in the Bellator
that's right.
championship, and won the 2017 West Coast ADCC trials, qualified and went to Finland, competed in the ADCC World Championships there in 2017. All right, Salter in the blue shorts. His opponent, Ian Poole, in the black rash guard.
Salter has a nice wrestling background.
Not surprised to see some wrestling there from Salter.
Yeah. Got that inside tie with the right hand and the collar.
Just a quick heads up for those of you watching at home, and I'm sure you're interested on the Flow Zone. The Hillbilly Hammer, Jacob Couch, will be on mat 1 shortly. will make sure to catch that one. He's the number 2 seed in this division. Neither Salter nor Poole in a rush to take this one to the mat, feeling each other out in the wrestling phase, and not surprised.
Yeah, you can see Salter controlling the distance really well. It's real subtle, but you see how there he's pushing a little with the right hand. And so he'll establish distance with his left hand, which is a rear hand. You'll see him go in, there it is. Establish distance with that on that trap. And then gets that collar tie on the right-hand side. And then when Poole collar ties on him, he's on that elbow right away to keep the pressure off of his head. He's doing a good job of staying, of really controlling the distance here. That's why Poole's having a hard time. You see how
I like that elbow control.
Yeah, anytime that you get a collar tie, that's numero uno for me, is to get on that elbow and start pushing it up and getting underneath it. But you'll see that it looks like these two are equally matched. Poole's got a great stance. He's collar tying. He's doing all these things that are like, hey, this is really typical of wrestling. But there's a difference in that Salter's controlling the distance, and
right.
He's pushing when he needs to push, and he's putting pressure when he needs to put pressure. And again, he's on the elbows when he needs to be, and he's really creating a sense of control of where it is, the distance on the feet. There, see that hand pushing over the top? It's pushing away, so Poole has a collar tie, but Salter's able to push away and keep distance when he needs it. So see there, he missed. Poole was even swiping on the leg and missed because of that distance.
Okay, well, it looks like we may have some technical issues to deal with on mat 2, so we're gonna bounce over and just go back to the multi-mat view while we're fixing that one for the meantime. Apologies for that. We should get that resolved as soon as we can. We're just waiting actually, because in just a minute on mat 1 we're gonna see Jacob Couch, the Hillbilly Hammer, the beloved 185-pound grappler, competing out of the Daisy Fresh pedigree submission fight in one of the fan favorites. I know people are very excited to see him in action here. Of course, his arch rival Elder Cruz also signed up. El Monstro of Checkmat also in action here in the 88 kilogram division at ADCC trials this weekend, and he is actually the number 1 seed. Sean.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised to see that. You know, it's great to see an up-and-coming brown belt like Elder Cruz given such a high seed, considering the depth of talent in the division, but rightfully so.
Yeah. So talented.
Yeah, we've got 88 kilogram matches now running across all 5 mats as we're moving through these elimination divisions. Try and whittle down until the bigger names coming up a little later. We have bigger names spotted throughout the day. It's really a case of going to arena.flograppling.com to check the live brackets and to make sure you're following along with the action. You can even set up alerts and notifications to follow your favorite competitors. Some big names on deck. Jacob Couch will be competing on mat 1 shortly. Quentin Rosenzweig of 10th Planet, he will be competing on mat 2 in a couple of matches' time. Stanley Rosa will be competing on mat 3 in about 2 matches from now. We also have Rene Souza of 10th Planet. He'll be competing on mat 4. So plenty of recognizable names from the tournament scene will be competing in. No surprise to see so many 10th Planet competitors out this weekend as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably something they all try to train for.
Well, it's also, you can't understate how much of a dream it is for so many people to compete at ADCC, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to go to mat 3. We have some matches about to start now here on mat 3. We've got Ty Freeman of Checkmat going up against Michael Rakshan of Immortal BJJ. This is an elimination match in the 88 kilogram division. Freeman with the black rash guard on the left with the shaved head. Rakshan with the purple trim on the rash guard, and immediately
right into the table.
Oh, we need a bigger mat for these guys, Sean.
We've been there before. We've been there before, right onto the table.
Beautiful takedown. Look at that.
That was nice. That was a great shot and drove right through that left.
And of course, puts him in a very good position to pass Rakshan on bottom. Freeman now putting on a little pressure from this half guard position, but reminder, no points scored in ADCC rules in the first 3 minutes, so those takedowns will not count on the scoreboard. It's not to say that they're not worth anything, though. It's a nice feeling to be. It's a nice feeling to just throw your opponent through the air and dump them to the mat.
Sure.
Right?
With that good a control there now. Rakshan has his work cut out for him. He's got to get that. He's got to get his elbows down in.
Okay, manages to get to his knees, but exposing his back in the process.
Yeah, he's got to keep his feet free and post up this left leg, and then he can get action going. He tries to roll through, but his hips were sort of smothered there. So
Freeman right in the motion, and very smartly, I feel, not inserting his hooks. He could from here. He could be trying to dig his hooks in, but instead, he's using much more of a wrestling riding style.
Yep, absolutely he is. And he's doing a great job of it, of really maintaining good control behind. And the best that Rakshan could have is cross-side bottom. So
solid pin here. See Rakshan bridging, trying to get back to his knees again. Manages to turn, exposing his back once more.
Yep. And again, that left underhook and that right stiff arm there is more like a wrestling referee's position ride than it is to try to get to the back. Initially on, but it does a great job of controlling an opponent. So
yeah, this is interesting to see here. ADCC is an inadvertent headbutt there from the back. It looks accidental to me. It was one of those things that you could see that Freeman was pushing down on the head. The moment he kind of took the hand off, you see that Rakshan's head pop back up and caught him in the head. Very unfortunate. But I'm sorry to interrupt. We're going to go to mat 1. It's very important that we switch immediately over onto mat 1 because the end of the match, just there on mat 1. Hopefully we can update that. There we go. You see the graphic in the top left telling us which mat we're on, because this is the highly anticipated first match of the day for Jacob Couch, a.k.a. Hillbilly Hammer. He's going up against Corbin Crisp of Brothers Jiu-Jitsu. This is one of those ones that the fans have been looking forward to, Sean. And I feel like that Couch, he's had a very good run. Of course, he won the IBJJF World Nogi Championships in the super heavyweight division recently, brown belt. Took third in the absolute division there. Took third place at the Who's Number One Championships in one of the most rousing performances in a while. Emotional moment, I feel. It's a young up-and-comer like that in fighting through to the final rounds of one of the biggest tournaments in the world. A very significant moment for him.
Yeah.
We'll be underway any second here now on mat 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So Couch in the all-black long-sleeve rash guard. See Crisp in the brown rash guard. Corbin Crisp representing Brothers Jiu-Jitsu. Jacob Couch, Pedigo Submission Fighting, a.k.a. the Daisy Fresh, the notorious Daisy Fresh crew.
Slides that right leg deep over to the thigh.
Back step possible.
Yeah, exactly. When it's that far over, that's usually where it's going to go.
One thing about Couch is it's not really a secret what it is that he's looking for, right? I think that's the price of fame, is that everybody knows your game. That everybody knows what to expect. And for him, he's going up against somebody that he's never seen before, or possibly, I'm not sure if they've ever competed against each other, but potentially going up against somebody with no idea of what to expect. So is that an advantage or a disadvantage, you feel?
Well, I mean, it could be a disadvantage. I mean, you're right. If you start to get in the spotlight and there's a lot of tape, study on what you do. If you're not changing things up, if you're not evolving, then yeah, it becomes a little easier for your opponent to study you where you can't study them. So it's still jiu-jitsu at the end of the day, and he's done his position so many times. I'm sure he's seen the responses over and over and over and over. So it's still he is who he is, and that's a big deal. So
it's almost that thing, isn't it? If it's nice to know if somebody's got a secret weapon.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
at the same time, maybe you don't want to think too much about the other guy's game. Maybe it's
Never.
better to focus on your own. But look at this. We see Couch here now. He's on that leg. This is definitely one of his best attacks. He loves the leg lock game.
Yeah, now he's in a little bear trap. Free that leg. He's doing a good job of staying on control. You'll probably see him slide that right knee underneath if he doesn't try to backstep that knee, but he has no grip on it. There he did. Now onto the
Straight
knee bar.
Oh, looks like the Mikey lock.
Yeah. It's the knee bar.
Oh, but it gets the straight knee bar finish. Very nice. Had that foot tucked on the collarbone, much like Mikey Musumeci did very recently in his match, but instead of getting that rotational torque through the knee, got the straight knee bar finish.
Yeah, that's right. You want to, on that knee bar, you want to put the big toe on your head, and that way you can turn the knee to line up with the hip. And he did a great job there.
Less than 3 minutes, or just over 2 minutes, like 2 minutes and 13 seconds for Mr. Couch to catch his first win of the day here at the ADCC trials. So we're just a little overview again of what's going on here. This is the Flow Zone commentary brought to you by myself, Howell Teague, and Sean Williams, and we will be bouncing around from mat to mat to call the action here, trying to scope out the bigger names, try to get a little time here. A little time following the biggest names and some of the more interesting matches that we can look forward to. And there are plenty of them. Let's go to
there
mat
are.
4, shall we? Let's just